Happy Friday, everybody. I hope everybody's getting ready for the weekend. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Amy, and this is True Crime Sushi. And we have a pretty fun night planned for you. And when I say we, that's because I have a surprise guest tonight. His name is Jay, and we're new friends. And I'm going to bring him up on screen in just a moment, and we have some fun things to do tonight. But before we get started, I just wanted to tell you guys, thank you for such a great show last night, and all the people on panel. And I know I get some feedback from some of you about the talking over of people or whatever, and I'm going to take full responsibility for that. And in the future, and hopefully we won't have that, and I will just, not as a punishment, but just, with the chaos, I'll just mute people, so we'll try to have one person at a time. So I'm going to bring on my friend, and let's get this rocking and sushi rolling. Hi, Jay.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for being here. So Jay was on the panel last night.
I was.
And after the show, he emailed me and asked me if we could talk about a couple things today. And how long were we on the phone today? Maybe 4 hours?
Yeah, probably. It was a long conversation.
It was. And we talked about Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie, but we talked about some other things too. And we decided, kind of per our, in the midst of hashing things out and following Twitter and things of that nature, it might be a good idea to work on a timeline. So Jay has put together something very amazing that I'm just really proud to show you all. And go through and talk about what we know in this timeline that are absolute facts. Because there's a couple of things, and Jay, I'm going to refer to you on this. Do you think that now is the time to talk about the big thing I was caught up on today about the sightings of Brian, or do you think we should wait until later and talk about that?
The sightings of Brian.
The sightings.
The sighting.
So,
I think that a lot of them are. It's really nobody. I think it's really hard to depiction what's real and what's not. It's very hard, but there's a lot of sightings everywhere. I mean, everywhere. There was a sighting today I saw in that reserve, but it was like a white shadow, and they said, "This is Brian."
Right. Well, I'm talking in particular, and maybe we'll talk more when we start going through this timeline, but I'm talking more about Brian. Okay, two questions I'll pose to you guys. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. This is for the chat. Do you find it curious that there's really one set of neighbors talking to one network about seeing Brian riding the bike and seeing Brian cleaning the van and seeing Brian go camping with his parents, but yet we don't have specific dates for that, so we have to wonder if it is. Let me pull up my calendar, and again, we'll rehash this on the timeline. But it was it early in September? Was it that weekend, like the 3rd, 4th, and 5th? Or did they go camping on the 11th, 12th, like maybe the 13th? Because on the 10th, we know that Gabby Petito's dad went out to the Laundrie home. So, two questions. Did the police ever see Brian Laundrie on the 11th? And did Gabby Petito's father see Brian on the 10th? And did because I don't think we have confirmation. Okay, Sherry Runs Late is saying that she's hearing static. And Jay had told me that just a little bit before we went live, and we thought we had it fixed. So is that real quickly, if that's a problem and it's incredibly distracting, I need to fix that. So someone can let me know.
Are you? Yeah, it's still there, but I didn't see. Share. I hear static. Anyone else? Sherry run late. Yeah, late. Very little. Sherry runs late. Very little. Amy, it's not loud at all.
Okay, let's do this. Give me a second. This is real life. I so apologize, and let me see if I can fix this, okay? I'm going to try some. I have tried a couple things, but we're going to try this. Okay, is that better?
Yes, very.
Yay.
It's a lot better now.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you telling me, because there's nothing worse than finding out after talking for an hour.
After the screen, yeah.
So, all right. So, I'll just tell you that Yeti's never going to sponsor me, because there's something wrong with that microphone, and it's pretty much brand new. So, who knew? So anyway.
Yeah. So I think what I do know is that the police are saying they're not answering any questions about if they saw him, if Gabby's dad saw him on the 10th. They're not answering any questions like that, which, for their integrity of the investigation, that's what they're citing.
Right.
Investigation integrity.
Right. So, but it makes it confusing. I mean, can you believe that Northport and the FBI are inconveniencing me? It makes it hard for us to try to figure out what the real possibilities of this are.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, because if nobody saw him on the 10th, then if Joe Petito didn't see him on the 10th, and this is what I think, you guys, happened. I mean, I know I'm speculating, but I believe that by September 10th, between Gabby's mother trying to get a hold of the Laundries and Brian, knowing that the van was back, not being able to contact Gabby, Joe Petito doing the same, Joe Petito gets in his car and he drives over to the Laundrie house. And there's an incident that night. And I don't think I don't know what happened. I don't have any documents. But I think Joe had enough, and he was knocking on the door, and they were kind of like, we have a lawyer. And then the police got involved. And then the next day, the ball starts rolling, and they declare Gabby missing. So that's September 11th.
Yeah, that was September 11th. So if we want to pull up on the map, we can actually go through and from the day they got engaged to the present, now the active search warrant, FBI, not FBI, the arrest warrant. That's what I'm trying to think.
Right. Okay. I'm going to pull that up now.
I think we can just talk about, go on and kind of, bring up discussions as we move along.
Okay. So can everybody see this on the map?
No, you're not sharing, darling.
It's not sharing?
No, it's not sharing your screen.
All right. Share. Chrome tab. Share.
There you go. Now,
how about now?
We can see it.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
So we're going to start off with June 2nd, 2020, right?
Yeah, and first one, number one.
Mm-hmm. And that's where they are engaged, and that is right here. And if you look up here, I don't know if you can see my cursor or not, But if you look up in the white square at the top, Jay has been thorough enough to provide a link for all of these things so that we know that these things happened. So we're going to find a way to share this with all of you so you can look at it later. We just got to figure that out. But I'm sure we could create an iCloud link or something, right?
Probably, yeah. We can figure that out.
Yeah, so we'll figure that out later. And I am going to just real quickly.
I'm sure you can press that arrow so we can get rid of that sidebar.
Yep, I'll do that right now.
Oops. Oh, and then another. I guess you can click projects. No, the one on the side.
Like here?
Yeah, with the one under that.
Oh.
The one that's highlighted. There you go.
Nice. Okay. Yay. All right, let me do one thing here real quick. And we'll start getting this going. Let me make sure all my volume is down.
I just clicked on it and it stopped the video, LOL, Connie.
Oh, if you click on it on the screen?
I guess you tried to click on the link and it stopped the video.
Oh no. Okay, so nobody click on the link.
Yeah, she thought it was like, she thought she could click on the link.
Okay, so that's number one, is their engagement, and that is in New York, right outside of like Huntington, in between Huntington and Blue Point, I guess. And then on 12/11/20, they purchased the van, right?
Yep.
And Gabby makes that post on Instagram. Let's see. On this date, which is 6/2/21, and he put in parentheses ish, which I love. Gabby and Brian go to Blue Point, New York for Gabby's brother's graduation, and they depart Blue Point, New York on July 2nd on their 4-month cross-country journey. So we have that established. I do need to go, unfortunately, back to the project because...
Yeah, you need to find the 4. So click on the projects.
Yep, I need to find 4. So... this makes some people dizzy, so hang on, my friends. Okay, so 4 is 7/4/21.
Right there. Yep.
Ooh.
Oh.
And we're, I don't know what that was. So this is July 4th.
Oh, you're still here.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep. July 4th, okay. They were at that Monument Rock, Kansas.
Right. Okay. So then we go to the number 5. And we're in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Again, the links to all these are up so that we know that these are like absolutes. It's an important part of this, what we're going through. Number 6 is Great Sand Dunes National Park and Preserve in Colorado. And you know that they have pictures on their Instagram and whatnot from that day. Number 7 is Zion National Park, Utah.
No, I've never been to any of these places at all.
You haven't?
Have you? No.
I haven't been. No, I haven't been to Zion, and I have not been to Sand Dunes. I've been to some of the other ones, but...
now, if they would have gone to Yellowstone, I could have said I went to Yellowstone.
I know. It does give you a little bit of wanderlust to see the places that they went and their adventures. Yeah. And then I guess on the flip side of that is it makes me really sad to think that she's gone and we'll never do it again.
Yep.
So 8 is Bryce Canyon, Utah. And then 9, they go to Mystic Hot Springs. And you'll remember you see a picture, or some of you may have seen it, of Gabby in an old iron bathtub in Mystic Hot Springs. That was on her
Yes,
Instagram.
that was on her Instagram. Yep.
Yep. 10.
This was Canyonlands National Park.
Yep. And that is 7/29/21. Then the next place we know that they were is 8/12/21, and they're in Arches National Park, Utah.
And so now we're getting into stuff's going terribly wrong.
Yep. This is where this might not be where the trip turned. This is where we know that things are not going right, because 8/12 is the day of the domestic violence call. If you remember, they were pulled over outside of the entrance to Arches. So same day, the 911 system is activated. Moab police respond to a 911 call of a passerby reporting a possible family domestic violence fight. And then we have the full body cam video. So the next day is 8/13. And I know you guys all know this, but I'm going to just remind you that night, Gabby is alone in the van. She doesn't know where Brian is, because Brian's being taken to a domestic violence shelter hotel. So they're separated for the night. 8/13 the next day is Brian's last Instagram post. And I can actually show you that. Let me do this. Hold on one second. If this works. Let me go back over here.
Can anyone access this Google Earth map and timeline? So we will figure out a way to post it publicly, and Amy will share that. I guess you can post it on her community tab.
Yeah, I'll post it on the community tab.
On how to do that for you guys to access this.
Okay. So can everybody see this? This is Brian's last Instagram post. Bizarre design. Humans are primates, great apes. In fact, I don't know how great we are as a species. Chimpanzees share 98.8% of their DNA with humans, our closest living relative. But as I see it, every living creature is in some way our relative, even trees. Only 800 million years ago, animal cells started appearing on Earth, comprised of mainly the same parts and following the same functions as plant cells, requiring oxygen, solar energy, minerals, nutrients, and water. This tree, Juniperus osteosperma, was surviving in only inches of soil, an area of extreme heat and drought. So this is his last Instagram post. He is by himself.
This is really his last message posted publicly for the world. His last message to the world.
Yep.
And it's very ominous.
Yeah, and look how many, they had a lot of traffic on their social media. So when, people start talking about why this case gets so much attention, there's many factors, but, part of it is their own, is that they'd already built their own following.
Yeah.
So let me get back to our map. Okay. So let's see. We were on Mystic
Brian's last Instagram post. So
Brian's last Instagram post. Okay, here. Okay, guys, hold on tight because it's moving fast. Okay, his last Instagram post, 8/17. Brian returns mid-trip.
We're going all the way cross country.
Oof, oof. I hope nobody has vertigo. Brian returns mid-trip to help Chris Laundrie, Brian's father, with a storage unit via a flight to Florida, leaving Gabby in Salt Lake City, Utah. So it's during this time that we know that, Gabby gets the Uber Eats from her dad. Her parents are talking to her. I think, it's a penny here and a pound over here, but I kind of feel like it's weird to fly home to empty a storage unit when you're on a 4-month van trip. But
yeah, that was pretty bizarre, in my opinion.
it's kind of weird and expensive.
Yes.
I mean, it seems like you could have hired, laborers to do that. Yeah, for the same price as the airline ticket, and Gabby's staying in a hotel for a week, or whatever, however many days. So there's this one. So then on 8/19, here we go. Now we're back to Gabby, and her vlog is uploaded. Van life, beginning our life journey, is uploaded on YouTube. So that's their one video they have on their channel, Nomadic Static. And if you haven't seen it yet, when you type it in, static is not spelled, Static. She puts a K at the end instead of the C.
Yeah.
So her blog's uploaded on 8/19. On 8/21, Joe Petito orders a pizza via his Uber Eats app for Gabby after a FaceTime call. So Dad FaceTimes her on 8/21. And so we know that she's still there. 8/24, Brian is now back, and they check Gabby out of the hotel, and everybody's back in the van. 8/25 is Ogden, Utah, right?
Yep.
And Gabby's in the black top and the beige skirt, and she's in front of the Monarch mural. And it's posted on their Instagram, or on her Instagram. On, let's see, 8/25, that is the last time Gabby's mother spoke to Gabby, stating the couple had arrived in Grand Teton National Park. I believe she also told her mom, though, that there wasn't going to be. Is that what she said? There's not going to be a lot of service around here?
Yeah, so that's the next one.
Okay, I'm confused. All right. So then, again on 8/25, last known location in Grand Teton, Wyoming on 8/25/21, heading towards Yellowstone National Park. Okay.
And then number 21
is what
you were just talking about.
Yes. So on 8/30, August 30th, Gabby's mom receives text messages from Gabby, or may not have been from Gabby, saying, no service in Yosemite, and can you help Stan? The whole thing about her grandfather. And her mom thought that was weird because Gabby didn't address her grandfather by that name. So on September 1st, we know that the white Ford van, whoa, that's going fast. The white Ford van is tracked coming off the highway, the toll road, back in Northport, Florida. And Brian is back home, and Gabby is not with him. We left off the 9/10 incident with Joe Petito going to the house because we don't have a police report for that. So
yeah, so we'll have to.
Yep.
I'm sure I can find an article in that.
Yeah, I'm very certain it happened, and I don't think there, But anyway, 9/11, Gabby's family ends up reporting her missing officially September 11th, and then on 9/15. That's where, and of course, her mother reported her missing in Suffolk County, New York. On September 15th, Brian is named a person of interest. And then we kind of know how this plays out from there. I'm going to pull up my calendar so I don't get the dates wrong. We know that. I'm sorry?
I was going to say, is that all you have on there?
Yes.
It didn't send you all. Huh.
It did.
Because I added more. I had like Cassidy went on the like they did that press conference and whatnot. Anyway, we all can know what happened there. Then the search warrant happened, but I added like Cassidy, the sister, went on Good Morning America and whatnot. Like there's 32 other bulletins besides, and you have 24.
Oh, that's weird. Let me see if I can. I'm not going to spend too much time because I want to keep. I want to keep you guys going.
Anyway, it's we all know what happened.
Yeah, we know what happens because. Well, here's where it gets a little muddy. Okay, so let's go back to 9/1. Brian returns to Northport, to his family home, where he lived with Gabby for a year. Gabby's parents are calling, both of them, both Joe and her mother, and trying to reach both Brian and Gabby's parents, and they're having no luck. And somewhere between 9/1 and 9/14, which is a Tuesday, it's reported that the Laundrie family took the truck camper, what did you call it? What is it called? A bed camper?
A cab over camper.
That's right. A cab over camper. They hook it up to the red pickup truck, and Joe, Roberta, and Brian go on this camping trip sometime between 9/1 and 9/14. We don't know if it's that first weekend in September or second weekend in September. We kind of only know it's a weekend because the neighbors said it seemed like a long weekend kind of trip. But we know that they were, at least Roberta and Chris were back at the house by the 10th because that's the night that Joe Petito goes over there. And the 11th is when Gabby's reported missing. And that's why, I'm kind of asking, did the police ever really see Brian? Did Joe Petito ever see Brian? Because if they went camping on the first weekend of September, he may have disappeared then. So then we have the 14th, where Brian goes to the Carlton Reserve to meditate and, be one with nature. On the 17th, which is Friday, Brian's mother or Brian's parents report Brian now missing, saying that, they haven't seen him since Tuesday. And then we have all the rubbish with the Mustang going back and forth. It's left at the reserve. It has a note on the car. They left a note on the car. Then they drove it back to the house. And it's interesting how people saw Brian riding a bike and cleaning a van and going camping with his parents, but didn't notice, a Mustang going in and out of the driveway. That's just me. I know not everybody's watching that house 24/7, but it is what it is. The 26th is Sunday, and that's when they find Gabby in Wyoming, correct? Then the 20.
Certain, yes.
Yeah, it's September 26th. They found Gabby. They made the announcement. They hadn't officially ID'd her, but it was enough where when the FBI had the presser, they expressed their condolences to the Petito and Schmidt family. On Tuesday, the 28th, they do the autopsy, and then they determine that Gabby's case is a homicide. And then we just fast forward to today. I mean, they have been out in those woods this is day 5. Searching Carlton Reserve. So I think for me, one of the reasons we wanted to talk about this particular timeline today was...
If you want me to, sorry to cut you off, I do have the updated map. I can send it to you real quick if you want to load it up.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
that'd be awesome.
well, we can keep talking, and then, but I am sending it to you right now.
Okay. Let me
Because
pull
I just
up.
do not. Yeah. So, but anyway, it was. You're right. It was. But like, and for anyone who wants access to that map, I will figure out a way, and I'll coordinate with Amy, and we'll figure out a way to get that done. So everyone can access it, and obviously I will make sure I'll update it so when something else happens, it can be
Updated.
utilized and updated. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that we can throw it in Google somehow and then provide an iCloud link. And then, only one person has editing privileges so that we keep it,
Yeah. So
the way we need it to be. I have
totally
okay, I
updated,
see. I see. All right. So I need to.
So, but yeah. So if you guys have any questions while she's loading that up, I'll go ahead and look in the chat and take some questions.
That'd be
So the
awesome.
September 2nd is second on is sketch for Brian sightings. Yeah, you have your hi Marilyn. Hi Marilyn. They can't by Florida law charge them. See, I don't know about this Florida law. Me and Amy were discussing this earlier today. I don't know. I don't live in Florida. I have no clue about this law. But if the feds are doing this, then I'm sure that the feds will, I'm sure that the feds will charge the parents federally rather than state or locally. I mean, if there even is aiding and abetting charges to be brought up.
Alan B says I have my dates wrong. It's September 24th. September 24th is when Gabby's parents reported Brian missing. That was a Friday night.
Yes.
What date do I? And I'm not. If I have a date wrong, I need to know. And you've typed it twice. So September 24th is the day that Brian's parents report him missing because there was a lot of aggravation about. She says today is September 24th. Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right. Sorry. Thank you. So it's September 17th that his parents report him missing. September 14th was the last time.
September 17th they report him missing.
Yeah. If I'm looking at my Google Calendar, and thank you for correcting me. Okay. All right. So, I get it.
Did you get the new map loaded?
It won't load.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm 100% serious.
Okay, then I will bring it on my end. Then I will pull it up on mine.
Okay. What it does is it keeps defaulting to the original, and then I took the original out, hoping that, but it didn't do it. Yeah. There are. Thank you. Yeah, today is the 24th. So I'll just do it again.
What number were we on? Do you know?
24 was the last number we read.
Okay, 24. Okay, can you see? Oh no, I'm not on my right computer. Hold on.
Okay, no worries.
Okay, here we go. So let me find it. I gotta get on here. How do I get back to my email? Oh my gosh, I'm all over the place now.
It's okay.
So
it's okay. You figure it out, and I'll correct my dates so that we're all kosher. Hopefully, the van is coming back off the highway. That's September 1st. There may have been a camping trip with Brian and his parents that weekend of the 4th and 5th. Potentially, the second weekend in September, but that would be weird because Joe Petito says he goes to the house on the 10th. Gabby is reported on the 11th. On Tuesday the 14th, that's the last time, according to Brian Laundrie's parents, that they see him. He's going to the park, the reserve, Carlton Reserve, but they don't tell anybody that. There's some shadiness with a Mustang. They see him, or they report him missing on the 17th. Gabby is discovered deceased on the 19th. The autopsy is the 21st, which was Tuesday, and we find out it's homicide. And then they've been searching the same woods in the Carlton Reserve now for the past 3 days. They did end the search early today by like an hour, which is interesting. Usually they're out there. And it, like, usually they make the announcement or they make the call like 6:30, 6:45. Today they wrapped it up like right around 5:30 and then made an announcement that said, we'll be searching this weekend. We won't be providing video or audio. And then it was worded very weirdly. This came from the public information officer. Something like, can I say this part?
Yeah, it was like it was worded very. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is, I'm gonna read it to you guys because this was a little much for me. So, let's see. Da, 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 da.
Okay, I have it up. Let me go on number 24. Okay. We were last on.
Okay. Anyway, well, I can't, like, it's just going to be one of those nights. So I can't pull it up my phone. But basically, this is what the public information officer says. He's like, we're calling it a night. We're still planning on searching for Brian, continuing the search over the weekend. We won't be providing video or audio unless we find something important like Brian Laundrie. It was just very
ominous. Like, oh, duh.
It was almost like flippant. Like, we'll let you know if we find Brian, but other than that, you're not going to hear from him. It was really oddly worded. Okay, so I see a couple questions. Are you able to share your screen from your end, Jay?
Yeah, I'm trying to do that right now.
Okay.
Do you share screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sharing is easiest with 2 monitors. Yes, great, fantastic. When Chrome Google Earth.
And I'm reading your comments. I'm sorry.
Can you see it?
Oh, here, hold on. You know what? I can. I have to add it. It just came across. So there it is. And I can make this.
So are you able to see it right now?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, so we were on 24. Brian, you want to go off and read it off?
Brian named a person of interest in relation to Gabby's disappearance, and that is on 9:15, 9:16. We have the Northport Police Department hold a press conference with the Petito family.
Yes, that happened, and then
the 16th.
Here we go. We're going way back cross country again.
Ugh. We're teleporting VR style. Okay. So, hey there, mister, scrolling that thing. Now we have Brian's sister, Cassie Laundrie, speaks to Good Morning America on this date. That is September 16th. Also, let's see, on the 17th, which is number 27, there is the police announced that there's no connection to the double murder case and the of the lesbian couple that are also in Moab. So they're saying the cases aren't connected. Remember, there was a lot of rumors on, let's see, the next one is going to be number 28, and that's the 17th, and that is the day that Brian is missing. His parents, the Laundrie family. I gotta have my calendar up here so I don't mess this up again. I'm human. So the 17th is the day that his parents officially reported missing. But remember, we'll double back and say they admitted they hadn't seen him since Tuesday morning. So then we are on 9/18, and police and FBI began to search for Brian in the Carlton Reserve. Now remember, this opens up to 25,000 or almost 25,000 acres of pure Florida hell, I will tell you.
Yes, I've never been there, but I'll take your word on it. From a lot of people, I've said it's just terrible.
Well, listen, I obviously don't live in a primitive camping situation, but I don't even live there. I live in Florida, and it's hot and muggy, and the mosquitoes are so bad that you can go out at 8:00 in the morning, and if you are covered in mosquito repellent, they'll bite your eyelids. So it's pure hot hell. That's all. It is Satan's little pink parts. Okay, it's no place you want to be. So that's the day they're looking for him.
And then we're going back to Wyoming. Here we go. Teleportation.
That's right. So number 30. This is Gabby's body is discovered in Wyoming, in Grand Teton, and I'm always going to give a shout out to Red, White, and Bethune, because I truly believe if they hadn't taken that video, that was so.
Did you not see how the van? I'm not sure if you can see. Oh yeah, you can see my cursor. The van was like right here, like somewhere right here, and the bodies was right here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. If they had not taken the time to go back and look at that GoPro footage they had, and I even saw, I don't know if it was on TikTok or somewhere else, they had a rear-facing camera, a GoPro, because you could see them driving past the van. They had a still shot because their Chihuahua was running along inside the van, and so you look over the Chihuahua and out the river, and you see their van in the background.
Crazy.
Yeah, and that's when, I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was a lot of people on the internet saying that it looked like somebody was slumped over the dashboard, like Brian had put a hat on the dashboard, but really somebody was slumped underneath it. And honestly, most of the time I'm like, with a lot of that stuff, but I think that's a definite possibility. I think that maybe they did, the Bethune family maybe were driving down the road. The back of that van closed, and Brian had just done something, and they just, I don't know. Anyway, personally, I believe that that's why Gabby was found so soon. I think most of you believe that as well. So
yeah, definitely.
Via that video. So that is on 9/19. On, look at me, I'm trying to click like I'm all a bossy boss. On September 20th, Brian's home is searched by the FBI. They provide the search warrant. You know what date we missed? What day did they come and take the van? Because there's two search warrants. There was a search warrant for the van, and then there was a search warrant for the Laundrie home.
I don't recall what date they took the van. I'll have to go back and check.
Yeah, I knew, like, in my head, I was like recalculating. So we got to do that. And if you guys know me, I can't pull stuff off the top of my head. I try. I'm not that person. So there's a lot of information that I retain, but some of those things, no. Lilacs and Roses, Over the Chihuahua, my band's name. I love it when you hear funny strings of words and you have your imaginary band. Okay, so now we're on, let's see, 32.
Okay. Hello, 32. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's no wonder I was clicking it and it wasn't going. I was clicking
No
31.
worries. Autopsy confirms the body found on September 19th is Gabby Petito. Let's see.
So unfortunate.
32, 33.
No, we're on 33. Yep.
Yeah. So now, in addition to having, literally boots on the ground, helicopters, all those things, they start bringing in dive teams to the park. So that is that's September 19th. And, I really have to kind of not remind you guys. You don't need reminding, but I just need to see it for myself. I don't know how you felt when the dive teams came in, but to me, I had a shift in my thinking. I mean, it's not like I hadn't suspected this before, but now I am very convinced that this is a recovery effort with the dive teams.
It could be. But the police haven't said, as far as I'm aware, that it is a recovery during the recovery strategy. But with
Right.
the divers, yeah, but I almost wonder if they brought the divers team to try to use those underwater sonar technology.
It's possible. I mean, Brian is in a swamp with a little piece of bamboo, and he's made his little, eco snorkel.
Yeah.
And
So,
yeah,
I mean, I don't know. They I thought them bringing in that big swamp monster truck looking thing was crazy.
right.
What do you call that? Swamp buggy?
Yeah, I don't even know what you call it. I mean, they have airboats out there. They have those.
That thing just drives over trees. It's a monster truck for swamps.
Don't get so excited. They are still calling it a manhunt. They are, you guys. I know they're still calling it a manhunt. I get it, but for me, like in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, they're looking at the timeline and they're looking at the conditions, and I think that
Number 34.
They have to consider.
Did not sink.
Okay, so let's see.
Number 34 is the warrant.
Okay. Of course, I tried it. United States District Court of Wyoming issues a warrant for Brian Laundrie, and that's when we see that the arrest warrant is for financial crimes,
Yes.
up to or $1,000 is like the perimeter right there, and
So
they mention,
but yeah, the $1,000 swampster truck. There it is.
oh,
Webby
Bird.
We lost the map. Yeah, I took the map down because we got to our final thing. But we have to find the map is really good resource to kind of track where everything was. Go ahead, Amy.
Well, it is, and also because it has the hyperlink so that we can annotate where we're getting those things, or we can, we just there are other things that people have said. I could think of a couple things that we probably could fill in, and if you all in the comments, I'll ask you this: if there's things that you can think of that we need to fill in, let's do it.
Really nailed it with the map. Brilliant, great job. Thank you, Teresa.
Yeah. He did. But if we could think of a few things to add to it, the piggy incident, the piglet restaurant incident.
Yeah, that. Now there was one, and the now I don't know if the TikTok hitchhiking thing. I thought about adding that, but it was like, this could be Joe Bo over here just saying, I picked up somebody in my
Right.
car hitchhiking,
Right.
TikTok. I'm gonna
Well,
post a TikTok. I've gone viral now. Look, mom.
I know, I know. You know that whole viral thing? I'm going to whine for a second. It's so frustrating because you see these, not the hitchhiker lady, but the other people that are talking about Gabby and Brian on TikTok. They sit there and they post for 2 minutes, and all of a sudden they have like 4 million views. It blows my mind. It absolutely blows my mind.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
Tambra.
bizarre.
It
Didn't they
is.
didn't they say Brian charged around $1,000 on that Capital One card? If true, I wonder what he bought. Yeah, I don't know what he bought. I a lot of people could speculate what he bought. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but they did say that it was in excess of $1,000. And
Yeah.
I asked yesterday with that TikTok. There I go again with the attorney dude, redneck, Texas redneck, English Texas redneck, whatever his name was.
English
Why?
redneck in Texas.
There
Yeah.
it is. Yep. Why didn't they not go after him from the very beginning with the theft of the vehicle? Could they have done that, or would that have to be like power of attorney because you know um, Gabby has to report it? How would that work? And he said, well, something about it would. It's if they did that, they would only have to do it like it would make a lot of sense with the crimes because you can get them anywhere. Um, and with the
Right.
grand theft or with the theft of a motor vehicle, um, it's just one state kind of thing.
Well, yeah, that's true. So the financial crime can be federal, especially because if you look, there's a term on there that says interstate commerce, and so that means it was used in more than one place, or so there's that. So that gave them some different criteria for issuing a arrest warrant. One of the reasons why the van is a problem, and I know that a lot of people just get really angry hearing this, and trust me, I believe you, or I understand why. I I suppose if they pushed hard enough, they could have gotten Brian for theft of the van. But and they
But
may
like that
still.
attorney said, it was like you could only get like a good attorney could get him off with a misdemeanor crime or something like that.
Right. Well, there's two issues here. One, we didn't know Gabby was dead. Okay, when we were talking about that, that changes the situation. If we have a time of death, or if we've narrowed down a time of death or a date of death, then we know that Gabby couldn't have possibly given him permission to drive that van, the same way she couldn't have given him permission to use her Capital One card, which, by the way, is like, I don't know if you looked, but the routing numbers that they listed, the last four digits or whatever, there's two accounts. So I don't know if that's like a savings and checking, or if that was two separate things or whatever, but there's two separate accounts listed on that document. The second thing about the van is that it was a shared domicile. So that's where he was living. And he had been living there for a while. So living there since July, the van was his home. So it's the same way. I'm sure somebody in the chat has been in this situation. Have you ever, taken in a roommate without a lease, and then you don't want them living with you anymore, and they won't leave?
Yeah, then you have
It's
to go to the
hard.
courts.
It's hard, and there's the same issues when I understand it's a van, but that's where they were living.
Someone brought up a good point with community property.
And so
Joy.
that made that a little bit messy.
Yes. Now, but I think
they were living together, so they were calling the van community property. Yeah, it's a shared. Yeah, it's a shared domicile. That's what it is. And
yep.
He was driving. He was documented driving. We assume that Gabby gave him permission to drive. I mean, for all we know, now that all of this has happened, she may have never wanted him to drive. Like, I don't know, but That would have been a trickier thing.
It's very interesting how they got him for the crime, the financial crimes.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think anyone was expecting that.
No, I don't think so. Well, I wasn't. I mean, when I heard there was a warrant, I thought, wow,
homicide.
Yes.
Conspiracy to commit.
Yeah, homicide. But nope. No, not so much. No. No. Nope, it's a Capital One card.
Yeah, I mean,
Joyce, there it goes again. She said Gabby didn't feel comfortable driving the van for the police cam. So, yeah, I mean, Brian was probably doing the majority of the driving. Therefore, he had permission to drive the van most of the time while Gabby was there. Right. It would have been very hard to report that van stolen when he had constant access and it was the place where he lived. He lived in that van. It held his possessions. He slept there. What have you.
For everybody.
Yeah.
Really.
So I guess at this point.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, I guess at this point, since we've gone through the map, I'm going to make the commitment to you guys to. I'm fairly confident we can do an iCloud link and put it up.
I think we can do it. We'll figure it out. We can definitely speak with you. I'll definitely speak with you and figure out how we can do it. But another thing that before we get off is the police thing. Two things I'd like to bring up, and then we can get off here maybe. Is one, the police response a few hours ago with the possible shots fired. Did anyone hear about that? Someone called with an unknown number and said that there was a shooting there. And around 6:45, Northport Police Department received a report of gunshots in the area of Brian Laundrie's home from an unknown number. No injuries are reported. There's no evidence any shots were actually fired in the area. There's also no reports of shots fired from the media who were standing outside of the home.
Right. That's what was weird. So basically, it sounds like it was a prank 911 call, right?
Yeah, swatting.
It was swatting, which is timely because this afternoon we had a long Brian, or why do I keep calling you Brian? I'm so sorry. Jay and I had it must be on this desk somewhere. That name must be on, I'm sitting at my husband's desk. Jay and I had a long conversation about some things, and swatting was one of them. And then that came across, and that's horrible. I hope people stop doing this stuff. You can hate people all you want. You can think the Laundries are the most disgusting people in the world, that all they've done is helped their son perhaps escape. They're liars. They're selfish and everything else in the world. And trust me, I'm there with you. But let's not put other people in danger doing things like that.
It is very dangerous. It's extremely, very dangerous. Not only for the family, the neighbors, but also the law enforcement officers. Because the law enforcement officers, first off, the family has no clue that it's law enforcement. So they may come out with a gun thinking some crazy man is going to shoot up their house. And the next thing, law enforcement sees a gun, and now there's an officer involved shooting and critical incident. And so it's just very dangerous and just really stupid.
It really is. And so Kathy Lynch is saying, she's swatting? What's swatting? Swatting is when, and this is not a tutorial, folks. So
no, don't do it.
Don't do it. It's not cool. Swatting is when you create a situation where maybe you call and you say that your neighbor, Jay Smith.
You want I was gonna the best way to describe swatting is you activate the 911 system or the emergency. You activate emergency services by reporting a very traumatic event that's totally false, something that would send a big, large police response, a huge police presence, but it's totally bogus.
Right. Right. So Candy Williams says, this might sound stupid, but if I was Brian, I would buy a hairpiece. He is so recognizable being bald, and a hairpiece would make him, of course, the comment goes away. I go find it. The hairpiece would make him look like every other young guy. Yeah, that's probably true. And there's, I'll tell you this whole thing about Brian. I keep seeing these posts on Twitter that say, hug your bald young friends. They're not safe tonight. It's so true. There's just that look is a very it's a very kind of like average look now, wouldn't you think?
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, maybe 10 years ago there weren't guys shaving their head with facial hair or whatever, but I just went to a wedding and the couple was younger in their 20s, and I mean, a lot of the guys look like that. So yeah, generic. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Tamara.
Very generic. So the second thing I was going to bring up is, if you guys haven't heard, hold on one second. I got to pull it up again. I apologize. I shouldn't have already had it up.
That's okay. I'll just read comments. IB Me says his finger tattoos need to be a major description. I agree. I mean, it's that feathery tattoo kind of like on the inside low on his fingers. Yep. Twin Mom 2011 says we were put through a lot of bald jokes over the last days. I'm sure you were. So
okay. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure I got the correct affiliate name. So the Fox affiliate in Utah, Fox 13, got their hands on the dispatch audio. So not the 911 call that was released a few days ago, and not the body camera, the actual dispatch audio of the police units being dispatched to the domestic violence call. And what's notable in that audio is the dispatcher clearly states that Brian, the reporting party, RP stands for reporting party, is advising that the man is fighting and has put hands on the woman, and that there was an assault that took place. And then when you look at the body camera, they kind of just shrug it off as if it was, in the report, it was just mental health.
Right.
The dispatch, the 911 call did not seem like that. And the call for service, when it was actually being kicked out by the dispatcher to the units, was, domestic violence.
Right. Yeah. So we can't play that either. Unfortunately, I don't believe we can play that here now.
I'm sure you don't know. I'm sure you could play the audio without the video.
Yeah, I'm a little gun shy. I know of two channels now that didn't make it very far.
Are you able to say if you want to watch it, you can go on the Fox 13?
Yeah, I can put a link in the description.
Okay.
I'm sure you guys.
If you want to listen to it, it's the Fox Utah affiliate, Fox 13, Fox's Utah affiliate. And they have it on their YouTube channel. It's all over their website. It's kind of breaking for Fox. And of course, you know what I meant.
Well, I mean, I think chat knows this too. I mean, it's fairly obvious that Fox has, for lack of a better word, a monopoly on this case as far as.
Yes, they do.
And I'm not saying they don't work hard and things like that, but you just have to look every piece of breaking news
Teresa and Jolene, yes. Sorry to cut you off. I'm reading comments.
No, that's okay. It's okay. I guess here's what we're gonna do. I want to be. What did we said we wanted to be done like 11:30, 11:45.
Yeah, we have a bit 2020 here, so it's probably 11:20 there.
Right. So if there's anybody that wants to come on panel, I'll share the link and chat, and we'll do that real quick. But if you don't, no biggie. I just want to give you all a chance to participate if you'd like.
Right.
What does it say?
Right.
Did Gabby have a YouTube channel? I thought she had one with Brian. Yes, she did. Gabby had a YouTube channel. There was one video on that channel. It's like a montage of their travels. That only video was posted on August 19th. And the name of the channel is Nomadic. Here, I'll type it in the chat here. That is the name of the channel. I believe I spelled it correctly. And if you get a chance, go watch that one video, because I'll tell you, I mean, Gabby is going to have a legacy for the people that knew her and loved her and lived with her. But for the rest of us, one of her legacies is going to be, and I'm not just sugarcoating this because she is now deceased. She was a beautiful photographer, and the video is beautiful too.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, so it's the video, the YouTube videos were great. For someone who was just doing it first, it was really shocking to see it.
It's gorgeous.
Good at it. Yes.
She was, so sometimes we use terms loosely in our life. Like we will say, I have anxiety. And then other people are like, but I really have it because I'm diagnosed or whatever. So we don't know when Gabby said, I'm really OCD, if she really was. But I will tell you something.
Can we highlight Amber's comment?
Sure.
While you're on that, so we can get back to it before it goes away.
Amber, you said?
Amber E.
There you go.
There you go. And we'll come back to it.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I noticed with her, both her Instagram and the YouTube video, is that some of those shots, she was extremely meticulous about how she set those up because she's running away from the camera. She knows exactly which angles to turn, where the shadow is going to be, where the lighting is going to come. She was gifted. She really was.
Very much so.
Yeah. And
Amber. Oh, sorry. Were you going to continue?
No, go ahead. I was about to read it, but go ahead.
Oh no! I took your thunder.
No, you didn't.
Oh my gosh.
Cool.
Anyway, Amber, I'm glad Moab, the police in Moab, are having an independent audit, and I hope they make some changes moving forward. I saw that. In fact, I got I saw the release on that, and I think it's great. I think that they should make some changes moving forward. But I think that no, undoubtedly they will make changes. But what was really, I kind of want to see how they handle previous DV incidences versus this one. And of course, not all DV incidences are the same.
Right.
But this was, they had the call, the dispatch clearly said, this is what's going on. I'm sure on their computers, their in-car computers, when they got assigned the call, it also said, if the dispatch on the radio is telling them the RP's saying that there's a fight going on, hands are being thrown, you know that the computers, the dispatch notes from the call taker are going to be bing, 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 bing every 5 seconds with updates.
Right.
And so, and then how they handled it was just like, I don't know. I have to review their 500-page policies, in which, I've been in the process of doing that, but they've because it is public on their website.
Right.
It's just, I don't know if that was the best. Certainly, it was not the best solution looking now that what happened, but that's what happened. So there will be changes, certainly, but I think it'd be, I don't know. I just don't know how as an officer, and I am very much, the police do a wonderful job. It's a tremendous job that they have to do that, to be put their job at risk every single day. But to be dispatched on a call with like that, with the call notes, and that their mobile data terminal is being off the hook with updates from the call taker, and to just separate them, does that really seem? I don't know.
Well, I think as far as retraining, again, it's not just looking at policy. I think a lot of it is going to be that they got hit with, like, I mean, if you want to talk about domestic violence with Gabby and Brian, it was like the after school special actress version, and they got duped. And they have to understand too what duper's delight looks like on someone's face, because that's exactly what's going on when Brian is smiling during that entire event. He's even smiling when he's considering, if you really look at it, you guys, when you watch the webcam video, go to the part where they're explaining to Brian that they need to find somewhere for everybody to stay for the night. This is before they actually dropped the citation. They're explaining, and one of the possibilities is jail. And he says, the officer says, what? She's 99 pounds soaking wet. You want me to take her to jail? Brian's sitting there, like, just smiling. Like, it's just the thought of it. Like, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. In his head, he's like, oh, that bitch is going to get what she deserves this time. She won't mess with me again. And they need training. They need role-playing training is what they need.
Yeah, but like I said, they're a small town out in probably the middle of nowhere. Stuff like this doesn't happen. This is probably a once-in-a-lifetime career opportunity that you get a huge...
Do you think so, though? Because you're dealing with people that are in campers and vans and trekking across the country in stressful situations.
That's true. But I don't know about, as far as domestic violence, no. I'm sure they get a lot of that every single day. I'm talking about murders and stuff like that.
Well, murder is different. I'm talking specifically about the traffic stop. Specifically about that.
No, I'm not sure No. They have to make a lot of traffic stops and like mental health and
I bet they do, because I'll tell you
domestic violence. Surely to goodness.
Yeah. I have no domestic violence in my life, so everybody calm down when I say this. And I love my husband dearly, but I don't want to take a cross-country trip in a car with because I don't like the way he drives, okay? So I'd have a heart attack or need to be medically, put in a medically induced coma in order to survive. And I've probably traveled a little bit more in my life than he does, and I'm very kind of laid back about stuff. Like, I'll show up at the airport 45 minutes before. He wants to be there 4 hours before. And, I keep telling him that in this terminal, you can't do this or you can't do that. And he doesn't believe me. We get there, it happens. I just have to sit quiet. I get annoyed. That kind of stuff. Traveling but I can't even imagine what it's like in a van, camping outside, going to these state parks all the time. Like Jenny Penny said the other day, there's no suspension in them. You're bouncing around like you're driving in a laundry, truck or something of that nature. I bet and I bet like a lot of people have children with them, and it just gets, like incredibly stressful. And I bet they deal with a lot of this a lot of the time. All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up for the night, I think. And
Okay.
we will get the map available to you all. When we
Yes, we
do,
will.
I'll post. Yeah,
Me and Teresa. No, I said Teresa because her name's up on the.
It's
Me and
okay.
Amy will. Me and Amy
We'll get
will.
a link. We'll get a link and we'll figure
talk
it out.
probably tomorrow or later this
Yep.
evening and figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. Make it available to you. So look
Okay.
for it on the community tab. Look for it on Twitter. Look for it on Twitter's at Crime Sushi, and then the Facebook page is just True Crime Sushi. So thank you so much, Jay, for being here tonight, and I will talk to you later. Okay.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me. Thank you, everybody.
Good night. Okay, I'm going to say good night to my sushi crew. Thanks so much. It was great having everybody in here. I'll read a couple names. Candy Williams, Twin Mom, 2011, Amber E., Sherry Runs Late, Fancy Drew, Jan Zabin, Connie My One, Flipping Life, Berserker Loki, Polly the Primate. I love that name. Oh my God. Tambra, Joyce. Who else have I got here? Teresa Milligan. Tiger Lily 81, Marilyn Landis, Lillian Gale, always love you, Miller Nature, Shiva's Girl. And you guys, I saw that conversation between you and Tambra, you silly things. VP, Ellen B. There we go with Polly the Primate again, Sweet Pea, Lilacs and Roses, Kathy Lynch. If I didn't say your name, I'm sorry. That's probably Joyce. It's probably going to do it for the night. Thank you so much, Trisha from websleuths.com and Websleuths YouTube Live for modding for me tonight, and of course, ping the router. And on that note, I'll tell you one funny little story, and then I'll let you go. Right before I was about to go live tonight, I got a text on my phone, and it said, "Are you going live at 10:15 tonight?" And this person also happens to produce YouTube. So I was like, yes. I'm like, oh my gosh, were you going to go? Because did I ruin your plans? And she said, well, is Trisha going live tonight? And before I could even respond, she said, no, you didn't ruin my plans. I didn't want to have to pick between my two YouTube mamas. So she was talking about Trisha and I thought that was so sweet. And I wanted to share that with Trisha too. So on that note, thank you, everybody. If I can ask you one thing tonight, if you can hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, hit the little bell so you never miss a live. I'm going to get a schedule soon. I have some plans for next week. I have some good things coming. Give me some time to ramp up. Give me a chance. I really want to make this a good thing. And for those of you that have always stood behind me, encouraged me, thank you. All right. See you later, alligators. True Crime Sushi signing off, and good night.